Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we got to talk about the wildfires going on in California right now. And one cruise line is trying to ease the burden on some of those affected. It's a wild situation that's going on there. We also have Royal Caribbean coming out and warning passengers who have sailed on the Symphony of the Seas about possibility of Legionnaire's disease during their cruise. So something to be aware of as well. We also have a cruise line coming out and saying, you know what? We are going to be building smaller ships in the future. We've already planned them and we know when they're coming out. I'll talk to you about that. And we also have Bar Harbor back in the news again because they've just gone to Boston, United States Appeals Court, and now they're trying to again overturn that decision that to limit the cruise ships going forward. It seems like it's a never-ending battle, and I just wonder how much money Bar Harbor has been paying in lawyer fees all this time. And I wonder how soon it's going to start affecting taxes. So first off, let's talk about the wildfires going on in California. And first off, if anyone out there is affected, complete condolences. I hope, the main thing is you're okay and healthy and not in the fire, shall we say. But a lot of people's homes have just been devastated. Whole communities just gone completely. And it's an absolutely devastating situation going on there right now. The Santa Ana winds are just causing turmoil with the wildfire, and no matter how much the firefighters have been fighting this 24/7, it's just, those winds just carry that fire so quickly. It's amazing. It can travel a mile in 10 minutes. That's how fast these fires are going with the wind. It's just incredible and also very, very dangerous. We do have some news about the cruise ports. The cruise terminals say both the cruise terminals and the airports are both still operational. They're both still functioning. So if anyone has flights and anyone has, a cruise booked, those are still going and they are still open. Now, one cruise line, Princess Cruise Line, has come out and they've said anybody affected by the wildfires in the area and everything, because a lot of people in these areas will take cruises in those areas because it's just so close. You hop on a ship, it's 20 miles down the road sort of thing. They said, but the last thing they want to be thinking about if their home's in danger and their livelihoods, etc., their businesses, is getting on a cruise at this particular time. So they have said that if anyone's affected, that they can contact Princess immediately up until the 30th of this month. And they will, cancel the cruise and give a full future cruise credit for anybody involved. I know it's not a full refund, but at least you're not losing the cruise, because a lot of people in this situation would probably just not go and not head on that cruise at all. So at least Princess is offering them the 100% future cruise credit for what they paid, and they can use it at any time after. They're not forced to use it within a year or anything like that because of the situation. So at least there's some reprieve for people that might be involved there. Next we have the Disney Cruise Line. Disney Cruise Line is saying that they are going to be building smaller ships. After their fourth Wish class that is built, which holds around 5,500 passengers, 1,500 crew, so like 7,000 people. So those are fairly large ships, right? Those are really large ships. Well, they say they're going to be building a ship around 100,000 gross tons, which is right in the middle of their original 4 ships. So I believe their smaller ships would be the Wonder and the Magic, and then we have the Fantasy and the Dream, which come in around 130,000 gross tons, and the 2 smaller ships are around 88,000 gross tons. So they're going to come in right around the middle. They say passenger capacity will be around 3,000, but remember, they build their ships to have a lot of children on board, so their capacities are built for cabins for 3 and 4, and sometimes they take that into effect when they're talking about their cabin effects on Disney. So if you're a smaller ship lover and looking for those smaller ships, it's good to know that Disney's not just going bigger and bigger and bigger all the time. They're saying, no, we're going to build some smaller ships. They're going to be environmentally friendly, and we're also going to be able to go to those destinations that those large ships just can't go to, which again, that's what a lot of people are calling out for the other cruise lines like Carnival Cruise Line and Norwegian Cruise Line and Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, saying, hey, we still need these smaller ships. The mega ships are fun, but sometimes we want to go places where these ships just can't go. And that's the situation there. Next, we also have Bar Harbor back in the news as the businesses there that are affected and the jobs that are affected there, they are back in Boston in the appeals court trying to overturn that decision to limit the cruise ships to 1,000 passengers a day, which will very much limit the amount of cruise ships going to Bar Harbor in the future. All the major cruise lines do not have a ship under 1,000 passengers. So Norwegian Cruise Lines, Celebrity Cruise Lines, Holland America Cruise Lines, Princess Cruise Lines, MSC Cruise Lines, Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, Norwegian Cruise, none of them are going to be able to go. And even Disney's smallest ship has more than 1,000 passengers, would not be able to go into Bar Harbor. So that would limit it to ships like some smaller Region 7 Seas, Seabourn, those kind of ships. Even American Cruise Lines ocean vessels might be able to go in there. But really highly limit the amount of ships coming in and will drastically affect some of the business there, especially the ones that are geared towards the cruise ship passenger arrivals. We'll see what happens. The appeals court, you never know in court. You never know the way things are going to turn. You sometimes think, oh yeah, that makes complete sense. That's absolutely the way it should happen. And bam, nope, nothing at the side. Some technical jargon, and decision goes completely the other way. But like I mentioned earlier, I just wonder how much money that the community has to pay for these legal fees, constant legal fees. They've been in legal battle now for over 3 years about this situation. And it's got to come from somewhere. The money's got to come from somewhere. And starting in 2025, they're going to have less money coming in from the cruise ships and the docking fees and things like that. And they're still going to have lawsuits that they have to fight. Even next year and the year after, these are going to continue. If the appeals court loses, they're going to eventually get to the Supreme Court, and that's not going to be cheap. And I wonder where the money's coming from. And that was one of the big reasons that the people in charge there, the representatives of Bar Harbor, wanted to change the amount of passengers. They wanted to up it to, I believe it was 2,500 passengers a day, which would allow some of the smaller ships to come in from the main cruise lines and maybe not impact as much the businesses involved. However, that was voted down by, remember, like 64 votes or something like that. And so the legal fees and the legal battle continue. And finally, Royal Caribbean is warning passengers because 2 passengers who got off the Symphony of the Seas, one was sailing in October, one sailed in December. They're not saying exactly which date on the ship that they were sailing, but they both have been confirmed with Legionnaire's disease. And so they've sent out warnings to anybody who has sailed on those ships during those 2 months to keep an eye on any symptoms you may have and maybe get checked out at the doctor if you have any of these symptoms whatsoever. Legionnaire's disease can be absolutely deadly, and you don't want to mess around with it. So if you've sailed on the Symphony of the Seas, or you sail in October or December, and you've got, all of a sudden you get these symptoms that seem weird and odd, not just normal flu seasons kind of stuff, you definitely want to go check that out at the doctors as well. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world? hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.